Hi, and welcome to Salento with Love. I'm Davide Mengoli, and another great episode of Palazzo Angelini. Amazing how these things is gently coming together and we see the transformation. I am sure that you're going to enjoy this episode of Palazzo Angelini, so I'll see you at the end. Palazzo Angelini is my regular stop every day, actually 3-4 hours sometimes every day. But today we'll find out exactly what the decision is. Let's see what's happening up here. It's a go. Plasterers continuing to work. The plumber is on site today. You may remember my visit to Jesse a few weeks ago. So this morning, buongiorno Paolo. Plumbers are here. So you may remember how complicated making some of these elements are and how special they are. So now they're starting to fit the part that goes inside the wall. Now we decided on this particular building site to fit those inner parts after the plastering. And yes, it is a little bit of extra work, but this will guarantee that the fitting that goes inside the wall is exactly at the right position. I like to do the extra work. I always say it's just like it is my house. So it needs to be perfect. And so in this particular case, now that the walls have been plastered and ready to either be tiled or whatever the clients decide, now the fitting will go exactly in the right depth to accommodate the facing plate. So that's what's happening today. There are 6 bathrooms to deal with and all the preparation work. Questa era la signora bionda tedesca.
Sì.
This is the canapa that gets used, which is better depending if the fitting it's metal. So to have a better ceiling, if you're working with a plastic fitting, they'll use the tape that probably many of you DIY aficionados are familiar with. If you work in metal fittings, then this is really what works the best. And obviously the plumbing mate, which is the paste. If you want to have plumbing done to this level, you really need to make sure that the people that are doing the work take good care, because otherwise after maybe 2, 3, 4 years you may have a leak, or and a lot of these fittings are inside the wall, so you may not even see the leak and it may just damage your walls or damage your neighboring walls. So very important to go through and find people that are very meticulous about doing this work. Excuse the lanes on the video, but I just really wanted to show you this area. This is actually probably some of the submerged stairs or original stairs that used to take the people that owned this beautiful palazzo into the working area, which was the warehouse or the oil press downstairs. We just stacked it off and it's getting all replastered to redonate a bit of life. Maybe it's going to be a glass top going over with, we've joked about putting a skeleton underneath, who knows, maybe it's going to be real. But also the opportunity of creating a little bit of a quirky space, maybe a bar with some shelves and some bottles there. So I really envisaged right from the beginning when I saw that little space, the opportunity, because the kitchen is right opposite, to create a little bit of an open bar area. I still find it amazed how every time I walk onto a site, I'm thinking, how would I get the maximum benefit of the space? And when you're working with 700-800 square meters between upstairs and downstairs, there is a lot of that thinking, and sometimes you have to remodulate. And so always important really to trust the instinct of the people that are doing your design, your architect, your engineers. If you have a good gut feeling that they're not just doing things to speed the process or just to get the best out of them in terms of returns for the refurbishment, always good to trust them, because then you know that you're going to get the best in terms of space and comfort and livability as well, which is the most important thing. So anyway, they're doing a fantastic job here. thank you for watching my videos. But if you haven't become a subscriber yet, press the subscribe button, leave a comment. We always appreciate your comments. Thank you. So it is Friday late afternoon, just to show some of the things that have been happening. As I turn the camera around, this beautiful open courtyard, which in Italian is called ballatoio. Well, it has revealed some interesting things. These pillars, we knew that they were solid stone, but in removing the plaster that was applied to them, we realized that quite a lot of, well, all of it had been act all the way. And the reason why this was act, it was to allow a key, or to supply a key for the plaster that was applied back in the days. So what we have been doing, what the guys have been doing, they've been with discs, they've been taking it down, removing, or at least everything they can without going super deep, everything. Now all the discs that you see, they'll be removed because that will be sanded until it becomes totally smooth. Incredible amount of work. Now up there we actually have a soft stone which is called tufo, which, to leave it exposed, really is not really that pretty. So that area there, those arches coming all the way around there, would be plastered. And so then you'll see the beautiful difference between the solid stone and the plastered area. So incredible amount of work. Also, plastering this and plastering or preparing to plaster the stair. Well, now you may think that it's a line where the new electrical conduit is running in, but it's not. This is an old building, and back in the 1940s and 50s, the electrical installation, they used to put them, well, wealthy families, they, rather than having the exposed cables, they used to chase them and put them in. But the conduit was actually made of metal. In fact, we do have a piece of conduit here that I've just exposed for you to see. Can you see that? Now this is totally rusted, disintegrated, but it runs through the wall. But as you can see, there are some airline cracks, because what happens as a result of the metal rusting and expanding, it actually blows the plaster. So if you tap it, so what you don't want to do is to apply new plaster all the way into these beautiful areas, just to find that perhaps a year down the line, or even sooner or later, that airline crack will come back again because, as a result of the rusting continuing in the back. So bite the bullet, open it up, rip it out, and then plaster that wall properly in a way that it ends up smooth and without any issues. So that's exactly what's happening on that back line there. It's not the new line running through, the new line is at the bottom actually. So what we do have there is actually the old metal pipe that has been pulled out and the plaster that has been going in to close the, chasing off that, what they cut. Also in doing windows or doors, very important to get this absolutely level. Because if they're not level, then when you go and fit your window or door, then you're going to have a very big gap around it, or that gap needs to be filled with other materials rather than your door or your window having a very tight fit. Now as I turn the camera around, this was a wonderful finding, and again the stone here was exactly like that, and today we've been working on this stone, making it smooth again by sanding it. Now this was totally plastered, covered, you couldn't see it. So there was a wall, it was closed. This door was forgotten. Now the door has re-emerged, the architrave, probably 300 years old. And so once this gets plastered, almost a frame around it, enhancing the natural stone that it's there. So again, incredible amount of work here. This week also has seen a lot of work in creating these trenches to bring the power supply to the ground floor area, which is going to manage quite a lot of things. So yes, this looks like a little bit of a war zone, but it's really getting ready for the final stages, which is a concrete layer over the top and then the flooring or the tiling that is going to go over the top. Oh, are you still there? That means that you are enjoying our videos. Thank you very much for following the channel. Did you know that every Friday we issue a video called Thank God It's Friday, and you can see it if you join our membership? Do that and I'll see you every Friday.
Davide, attenzione, se schizza da fare la giacca.
Sverniciatore?
Sì.
I'm up here with Salvatore.
Giuseppe.
Why did I say Salvatore? Allora, Giuseppe. We're on the top of the scaffolding, but... So why we're up here? Well, this was found underneath the suspended ceiling. So we found this, and this was buried. So this is a lot earlier, probably 17th century Baroque style. And they are not decorators, so they are restorers. Una grandissima differenza, voi non siete pittori ma siete restauratori, conservatori immagino.
Ok, sì.
Quindi proprio il lavoro che va fatto qui è un lavoro di restauro a tutti gli effetti. Quindi in cosa consiste questo lavoro, Giuseppe?
Allora, prima noi faremo la pulitura e qui si vede già un po' la differenza fra questa parte, vedi che non si vedono le foglie, e questa già che è stata ripulita, è stato rimosso tutta la parte che non è originale, quindi tutte le scialbature, le pitture che sono stati sovrapposti nel tempo. Vedi la differenza, ecco. E questa è la prima cosa. Poi la seconda fase è, vedi questa parte, questi che vanno tutte consolidate con le iniezioni, anche qui, vedi
okay.
Qui tutte queste parti che si staccano, vedi? Queste vanno tutte consolidate con le iniezioni.
E i pezzi mancanti poi?
I pezzi mancanti, una volta che noi le abbiamo consolidate e pulite, i pezzi mancanti si sostituiscono,
vanno ricostruiti.
Vanno ricostruiti. Una volta finita la ricostruzione, sempre in calce naturalmente, tutto a base di calce, bisogna fare il ripristino della pittura, che poi sarebbero dei ritocchi di pittura per omogeneizzare il tutto.
Quindi
cioè non ridipingiamo, non si ridipinge, facciamo solo dei piccoli inserti di pittura in modo che omogeneizziamo l'intervento.
E una volta finita il risultato che si ottiene è come quando è stata fatta? Quando era nuova?
No, non deve essere così, perché non verrà nuova. Noi dobbiamo consolidare, mantenere e fare in modo che non si deteriori ancora. Noi dobbiamo pulire, consolidare e dargli un'armonia.
Fantastic. So this will happen over the next few days, having restorers up here bringing back and consolidating and restoring and consolidating this plaster that has been here for over 200 years, 250 years, and allowing us to preserve it for future generations. Grazie Giuseppe, buon lavoro.
Di niente.
Isn't this incredible? Another star-shaped ceiling, but we are in the room where the oven is positioned. This is not just an ordinary oven, this is an incredible, huge oven, probably contains more than 100 kilograms of bread at any one time. So the color that you are seeing here as a result of taking the white off. It's a combination of really the smoke that's been absorbed by the limestone, by the paint that was applied, and so you do have this yellow honey, very deep color, and it's absolutely amazing. This is a type of color that you will never be able to accomplish. Now, regardless if you're going to leave these exposed or not, part of the process still remains to remove the old paint and sand it down and fill the gaps, because otherwise the paint that you're going to apply is never going to stick and is never really going to adhere at the same quality or level that it would adhere if you take this off and then you seal it. So an incredible amount of work. It's not just about sanding it down, filling a few gaps like you will do in an order manner. This is very intense. Also, to do this star-shaped ceiling, we are 6 meters up in the air. So just to give you an idea. So you need also the time to put the scaffolding up in order to work comfortably, to avoid any accidents, and so you can take your time and do the job properly. So I've also come back this afternoon and the restorers have gone. It's incredible to see 2 people working a whole day. All they've done to date is actually clearing up all of these lines, which before they looked like, you know, completely flat, filled up with paint. They're now opening up all these beautiful details. And there is so much work to consolidate. These are not made of gesso. These were made from the same material that were plastering the walls. So these guys, they were real artists, because they were actually putting the plaster and then modeling the plaster to give the shape when the plaster was semi-dry. And so you can imagine the amount of accuracy that these people had back in the days. But these beautiful details when they come out, look at these flowers, they're all going to be cleaned up, and these leaves all freed up from all those layers and layers of paint that they've abstracted everything. Well, this will be something that once it's restored will really be passed on to future generations. To think that this plaster now has more than 250 years. This is the original plaster when the house was built at the end of the 16th, beginning of the 17th century. So it's just a responsibility that we have towards future generations. I'm sure you have enjoyed this incredible episode full of so many things. It's amazing to see how a property can really be transformed and can be brought into the 21st century. And it's happening with the hands and the skills of a lot of incredible craftsmen. Well, until the next episode, make sure you do the most important thing, which is stay safe wherever you are.